Garmin nuvi 2250. I apologize if you're seeing lines on the screen. I have the brightness turned down because if I, which I'll get to in a second because that's actually an interesting story, because if I put up the brightness on this, I have it at 20 and whoa. Yeah, so I'll put it back down, yeah, so you can see more of the, you know what, maybe I'll just do it at, can I get rid of the, okay, right about there. Alright, you can't see my hand really, but, oh well. I guess what's on screen matters more anyway. Right, so, 2250. This is the thinnest, lightest nuvi Garmin ever made. It is even slightly thinner than the 1100 and 1200, if you remember that one, by just a touch of a centimeter. This unit, let me just take off the bracket there, put that over here. This is a truly, this was Garmin's best effort at a pocket-sized navigator, and to be honest, this really is pocket-sized. Now, before getting into the features, if you're saying to yourself, oh, I am totally getting one of these, well, hold on. I would not recommend it, only because the one fatal flaw of this unit, which I have fixed, is the screen. Well, what's wrong with the screen, you may ask? It's dim. The original screen that came with the 2250, yeah, the backlight is not that good, but what's in this one is a screen swap, which I showed in a previous video, from a nuvi 30, which was the model released after this one. Now the 30 is really watered down compared to this one. This unit is stuffed with every single goodie Garmin could put in it. It is also holds the distinction of being the only 3.5-inch nuvi North America release that has traffic support when connected to a GTM36. If you connect a GTM36 to this, you do in fact get traffic reporting on this thing, which is amazing for a 3.5. It's the only one that had it. So let's take a look at some of these features that it has. It does have eco route, which is not locked. You can actually use it without having to buy anything extra for it. It does have a trip planner, which is amazing in a 3.5. Picture viewer, world clock, calculator, unit converter, language guide, and such. In the system settings, this is nothing you haven't seen before. Oops. Nothing you haven't seen before. Oh, it does have the Garmin Locks feature. Now I can't use it because you have to not be in simulator mode, because it's, if you've never seen Garmin Lock before, what that does, and I don't suggest you use it for reasons I will say in a moment. Garmin Lock, what it does is that you can enter a 4-digit PIN which will remember your location, and if you were in the location, like say your driveway, then the unit will automatically unlock. But if you are not, then it will prompt for a 4-digit PIN of your choosing, and this was touted as a theft deterrent. So if someone stole this unit and they attempted to use it, they couldn't get to all your favorites. Garmin removed this feature later on because it wasn't that popular. Some people really liked it though, but this has it, which is kind of neat. So yeah, that's the Garmin lock. Got your standard voices in here. I put in a few extras. When you go to look up anything, it does have the A, B, C, D, E layout. So if I go to search for a point of interest and spell name, that's what you get. No QWERTY keyboard in this one. You only get that on the widescreen models. The icons are very nice and colorful. It did just look great. I kind of missed this because Garmin used to use some really, even when you're looking here on the home screen, look how colorful those icons are. Just very, very nice. Now this up here, if you actually touch that, you can go into a pedestrian mode because, again, this was meant as a pocket navigator. You can totally use it in the car, which I have, but you could go into pedestrian mode, and there were, in fact, and I don't have one loaded in this unit, but there were, in fact, pedestrian specific maps for this. That was cool. And another thing, which I can't show you, but for obvious reasons you'll understand in a moment, but I can tell you, from the factory, Garmin put a 900 milliamp hour battery in this thing. From the factory. Back in 2011, when this was released, now 900 sounds like nothing today, but back in 2011, that was a lot. This still has its original battery, and it still holds a charge for hours. It's amazing, this thing. It really is. But like I said, the one drawback of this thing is that the original screen was terrible. But with this nuvi 30 screen in this, yeah, this thing is amazing. Now, when you're viewing the map, you can get your list of turns that way. It doesn't show the street name at the bottom, but it does, in fact, show the speed limit. This field you cannot modify, but you can modify this one over here for any number of things. Kind of nice. The map is very colorful. It's very, very easy to see, even though this is so small. It's so small, but it's so readable. My original reason for getting one of these is that at the time I bought it, I wanted something about the size of a car gauge, which is what this is, and it's certainly thin enough where you can use the suction mount to stick it, well, suction it as you would to a instead of to the glass, to the gauge panel. But I ultimately decided against that because I had to block other gauges, and I came up with an alternative solution, and I decided to go with another widescreen 5-inch. But I kept this anyway because this is I kept it for two reasons. First, this really is a true pocket navigator. So if I was taking this, now, true, you can use your phone. Anyone can use their phone for navigation and stuff like that. But wouldn't it be great if you could have something which was a navigator that was not the phone and didn't connect to cellular networks or anything like that, just GPS, that's it. And without it being a trail unit, this is it. So for traveling, especially if you're going to take this, like, say, in a rental car, this is fantastic to have. And it's just, I love the fact it is the most feature-packed 3.5-inch model that Garmin ever released. Now, granted, the case is not in good shape. And the reason I have not bought another one of these is to get a better... I could paint it if I... I may not bother, but the reason I've not bought another one of these are not easy to find. It was kind of a fight to even find one of these things. Short-lived model, obviously. Oh, and yes, it does support up to if I can focus on that. There we go. A 32 gig card. Now, as far as I know, this is another crappy part. Not crappy for me because I know how to get around it, but there was never a lifetime maps version of this, which is unfortunate, but I know how to put in lifetime maps in not so honest ways, so I just do it that way. Other than that, yeah, this thing, it's really fantastic. The final thing I'll say is legibility. Okay, it's only 3.5, and as you can see, this text, is really small. This is super, super small. It looks large because I have it in front of a camera right now, but yeah, this is a small little guy. But I'll tell you, it truly does fit in the pocket. This thing acquires GPS signal amazingly lightning quick. It's not, I will admit, it's not the easiest thing because you got to kind of hunt around with your fingernail, especially when you're, like I said, punching in these little keys and whatever. But if you can get over that, this is really, really good actually. Would it be good for things like motorcycles or bicycles? I don't think so, just because of how thin this is. And I know you're thinking, well, that's a selling point. Yeah, that's also a drawback, though, because if it's exposed to the elements, namely sunlight, yeah, this thing would not last too long. It's meant to be used as a pocket navigator first, and not as a something to be used on the outside. Other than that, though, with the nuvi 30 screen that I swapped into this, fantastic performer. I won't use it regularly, but I just like having it. If I do get to the point where I regularly travel again, this is definitely coming with me.